Alright guys, let's take a quick look at AMP here on the channel. It's been some time since I've talked about AMP, but I do want to say that there is a few things you need to consider when it comes to AMP. Now, one of the things is that there is a resistance here that has been keeping it down basically since December, and you can see that it's hit several times along the way. And most recently, it looks like it hit even today, earlier today in this morning. Basically, I mean, it comes very, very close to hitting it. In my book, guys, this is close enough to say that it did hit. These lines aren't 100% perfect. I need to point that out. But yeah, I mean, basically, if AMP is not breaking this resistance, there's not much to celebrate, because you can just see that it just continues to have, lower lows here every time. So, for the next step, it needs to break this. Then it needs to break this resistance here at 0.0047, and then you have 0.0067 to break, and then you have just under a penny at 0.009. And basically, guys, if AMP is under 1.2 cents, and I say this almost every video, I just need to zoom out to show you, if it's below 1.2 cents, there's really nothing to celebrate, because basically it hasn't really spent any time above that level, except for a few wicks. And I don't even think it's closed any daily candles really above that. If I zoom in, you can see over here there is no daily candle close over here. And if we go over here, there's only 1, 2, and then the next day it actually fell under 1.2 cents. So basically it spent a couple of days above 1.2 cents. And then, guys, it's all the way back. It did close some candles in May of 2022, but okay, a lot of May was spent above that level, but yeah, eventually it did make its way down. So, guys, 1.2 cents is the level for AMP. It still needs to break to get really excited about this. Now, I know I DCA'd into this, and I've said this in the previous couple of videos, but at these levels, I mean, why not? I'm not going to lose that much money. I'm DCAing. I did actually spend about $400 or $500 on AMP, but I've DCA'd into this, and yeah, I've pulled that probably down to about a penny or so. I could DCA a little bit more, but we'll see, guys. We need to see, I think, the lawsuit dropped here. That is one thing I think that is holding back AMP. I haven't heard anything about the lawsuit here, but if they can get this lawsuit dropped, yeah, I believe we will start, pumping through some of these levels. But if anybody has any information, let me know. But yeah, I did not hear that any of these lawsuits were actually canceled with AMP. Now, taking a look at the RSI, let's just take a look and see how much strength this move has. Now, this move isn't huge. It's only about 7% on the day. So, taking a look at the daily, it's actually pretty low. This actually looks very good, guys. This is oversold. And, yeah, RSI is pointed heavily to the upside as well. So, that is nice to see. The weekly time frame, again, actually doesn't look that bad. It looks like it wants to turn up here on the RSI. Now, the Stochastic RSI, actually. And it is very, very, very low, extremely low. Now it is slightly pointed down here on the RSI, but guys, this is pretty good territory where it does it may make a move like this. Next move could be like this. So let's see. You never know. Now if we take a look at the monthly time frame, yeah, there isn't actually that much on the monthly time frame here to go by. Now, it does look, it's floating basically on this line between being oversold and just being in normal territory with the RSI. Now, the Stochastic RSI looks like it is overbought, and it's just coming out of that. So, okay, that's, this is not much history though to go off of. But the weekly and daily look fine. Now the 4-hour time frame still looks okay. It is pointed to the upside now here on the Stochk RSI, and we're right in the middle here with the RSI, and it's just kind of sideways at the moment, but that doesn't look too bad. Now the 1-hour time frame is actually pointed heavily to the upside, just coming out of the oversold territory. Kind of flat though on the RSI, and on the 15-minute time frame, let's see this for fun. Okay, this is coming out of the overbought territory, and it is pointed down here on the RSI. So what do I think, guys? Basically in the short term, very short term, probably going to get like a small pullback here. But on the longer term time frames, this still doesn't look that bad though. You know, if you're just looking at the technicals. Now we need to know something about the lawsuit. You know, we didn't need to know if they're going to be cleared or whatnot. And yeah, you know, I would expect to hear something about that, because most other projects have, you know, they've been cleared or but yeah, let's see what happens with AMP. Now, taking a quick look at the tokenomics of AMP, guys, it's still the number 196 project, so 196, still top 200. That is not bad, guys. Now, the tokenomics, the max supply, just shy of 100 billion. I don't like when projects have more than about 10 billion, but okay. There is actually a very large, you know, AMP community, I can say, because when I do AMP videos, a lot of them get a lot of views, guys. Now, this is a coin that, you know, it's sitting at 0.003. At one time, it was at 12 cents when it was, you know, listed on Coinbase, guys. So there was heavy demand for this in the last bull run. And yeah, I do believe this is still a good project. It's just got to work through the, you know, the legal problems. Now, circulating supply, much of this is circulating, and yeah, the total supply has already been created, so you know, they could dilute a little bit more, but for the most part, this, you know, is pretty much, you know, diluted for the most part. I mean, it's like what, 85% diluted. Now, all-time low was about a year ago, which is kind of surprising, seeing how the markets have been. All-time high, like I said, was around 12 cents. Now, you're getting about a 97% discount if you're buying AMP at this moment. And, hey, at this price, why not put a little bit of money into it? Because, hey, you never know where it can go. Now, that's not financial advice. But, yeah, and if you do already hold some AMP and you've been, you know, holding for a while and you just see this going down, you know, maybe you could DCA. All right, now let's take a quick look at Bitcoin here. As you can see, Bitcoin is flirting with this line here, this resistance at the moment, daily resistance at about 84,194. We're only about, what, 30 bucks above this right now. Let's see if Bitcoin can close above this, you know, resistance as it is right now, and that would make this support. We do still have a higher low though, guys. I just want to point this out. This was the lows over here on the 10th and 11th of March. Now, we are still, you know, making this a higher low. So, all is still okay here. When it comes to Bitcoin, really, it's actually been very strong compared to the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, which we'll look at in a minute here. But yeah, I can say I am fairly impressed, honestly. Now, taking a look at Ethereum, I am actually still impressed with Ethereum as well. Although I'm going to go ahead and say I don't have a lot of faith in Ethereum. I do not put people, you know, onto Ethereum basically when they ask me what they should buy, or you know, I just think there's better projects than Ethereum. So, but the fact that Ethereum has been, you know, getting green candles just like Bitcoin in the last couple of days, I am a little bit shocked. It has actually not been so weak, and you know, when we're comparing the S&P 500 and NASDAQ, you know, it's excellent. So anyways, it still is in this reaccumulation zone. It does look like it wants to, you know, make its way back up. It does differ when it comes to Bitcoin though a little bit. Let's put this on a daily time frame because you can see it a little bit better. Now, where you had like the 10th and 11th of March over here for Bitcoin, if you remember, it was actually lower than this area here. So we do still have a lower low. But, you know, it is hanging on by a thread, guys. We'll see if it can start making its way back up. It's going to have to break out of this, you know, Fibonacci level. I haven't marked off any weekly or daily time frames for Ethereum, but I'm just going to keep it simple and keep these Fibonacci's like it is. Now, taking a quick look at the S&P 500, guys, this is just crazy. You can see how bad it is. Let's just put this on the daily, and yeah, I mean, you know, here was the day Wednesday when they announced tariffs, and they did it after the market, guys. So you do see a green candle for Wednesday, but Thursday and today it's just really, it's crashed, guys. So Bitcoin is not like that. I have to say, Bitcoin has fared a lot better. Now, taking a look at the NASDAQ, it's pretty similar when it comes to you know, traditional markets like the S&P 500. It also has crashed. Basically, it had a green day on Wednesday as well. Or sorry, that's Monday. This is the weekly, and let me put this on the daily. Now, okay, yeah, it did have a green day on Wednesday as well, but you can see Thursday and Friday, just like the S&P 500, crashed down. So, you know, traditional markets are just not faring as good, and I don't know really why. I guess people are looking at Bitcoin as a safe haven, and that's good for us. You know, it's good for us in the crypto market. Now, I personally don't have any Bitcoin. I hold entirely altcoins, but you know, people are going to start flocking to crypto, I believe, here shortly. Now let's take a quick look at the total market cap, guys. You can see we are getting a bounce off this support here at about $969 billion. Now keep in mind the technical target of this breakdown was down here at about 860. So I don't think we're going to go that low, guys, honestly. And, you know, so far I'm right, but you never know. If we get some really bad news, we could make our way down there. Let's just hope not. Now, taking a look at the dominance, guys, it is still raging. This is the 8th green, you know, day, basically for the dominance. And, yeah, I mean, for altcoins, you know, it's just not good. But I would rather see the dominance go up than, you know, for example, Bitcoin fall and, for example, S&P 500 and NASDAQ go up, you know. So, in my opinion, it's better for crypto as a whole. You know, as long as people are flocking to crypto and looking at it like a safe haven, a store of value, I think that's best for us. I'm all for it. Now, if we take a look at the CME futures, this closes in about an hour and a half. We'll see where it closes. But right now, this is 84,700. The dollar index actually is getting quite a pump today, almost a bullish engulfing candle, but we'll see what happens. It still has about 3.5 hours on this candle for the day. Now, taking a look at the liquidation heat map, guys, it's only 260 million basically have been wrecked, and it's basically equal on both sides. This is really surprising, especially, you know, seeing how volatile Bitcoin has been today. And, you know, I'm surprised it's not 500, 600, 700, you know, million. But yeah, that's fairly tame, I can say. Now, looking at the monthly returns, we are almost 1% up for Bitcoin in April, so not too bad. Fear and greed is a 28 today. We're still in fear. Yesterday was extreme fear, though. We were at a 25, so we are coming up just slightly here. And I think that, you know, shows that, you know, because Bitcoin has been stronger than S&P and NASDAQ, traditional markets as a whole, basically, you might see this start to creep up. Now, looking at the altcoin season index, guys, it is an 18 right now still, and that's because, you know, dominance keeps going up. Let's see what happens in the coming days. You know, someday this will actually come down. We will have a true altcoin season, much more better than what we've already seen in this cycle. You just have to keep the faith, guys. Now, taking a quick look at the bull market peak indicators, a sell at the top, still 0 from 30 have been hit. And this is why I keep saying, guys, I am holding, I am not selling, I do not care. If this is, you know, the end of the cycle, fine. I guess I'll just hold my coins another 4 years because we really didn't have an altcoin season. It wasn't enough to make me sell my bags, guys. I do believe we're going to have a better future across the board for all crypto, not just Bitcoin or Ethereum or BNB or whatever. I believe we're going to have a true, altcoin season and crypto season basically as a whole. Now, I'm going, to probably start selling when I start to see some of these hit. Now, it's going to take more than 1 or 2 hits. It's probably going to take about 10 or 15 hits before I start to sell personally. Most of these indicators were hit in the last couple of cycles before we knew it was officially over. Looking at the Pi cycle top indicator, guys, you can see that it is actually moving away still. I can zoom in all I want here. And yeah, I mean, it just looks like it's moving away from each other still. Now, next week, guys, we do have kind of a big week next week. Not really much Monday or Tuesday. Only an FOMC member speaking on Tuesday. We do have the meeting minutes, though, on Wednesday. That might shed some more light on what might happen in the future. But the biggest thing, guys, on Thursday is CPI. And on Friday, we do have PPI, and we got Michigan numbers. And we do have, a couple of other speakers speaking on Thursday and Friday. But most important thing, guys, Thursday, Friday, CPI, PPI, and possibly Michigan. Now, guys, I've been looking at this Bitunix all day long, and these are some of the biggest measured news events that I have seen Bitunix measure just really today and in the last few days, really. But today is just unbelievable. Now, what I normally say is 0.1, either positive or negative, is very large news. Now, you can see we have 0.27. We have 0.2 here. We got a 0.185 here. We got 0.165. Now, all of these things are above 0.1. Now, normally, okay, for example, before Wednesday, you would see something like 0.03, 0.02, 0.04, things like this, guys. This is just amazing. Look at this, 0.565, 0.452, 0.305. I mean, this is crazy. This is the smallest news I think we had today about OpenAI or whatever with Sam Altman or something. So anyways, guys, this is just insane. You can see these numbers, and yeah, I mean, we have had a lot of news that should rock Bitcoin, honestly, but it's definitely rocked the entire traditional markets as a whole, and yeah, you can see here, this was, 0.03. This is typical, guys, 0.06, 0.0475, but if I go up here, this is just amazing news coming out all the time. I recommend you guys get Bitunix. It will, show you the news that really affects the markets, and when it affects it, right at the moment it affects it. And you pretty much know what's going on all the time with Bitcoin or any other altcoin, basically, if you're watching. Because if Bitcoin is crashing, pretty much everything is crashing. But yeah, I mean, today, guys, I saw some news, and I think it was about China. I can't remember where it was here. But anyways, they had a response to the tariffs, guys. Yeah, it was this one here. And I saw Bitcoin go down pretty rapidly. So, yeah, this news, I got this piece of news on Bitunix immediately, and I knew what was happening. So I do recommend this platform. Check it out for yourself. Now, if we're looking at the FedWatch tools, guys, 72% still believe we're not getting a cut. We have about 27% now that believe we will get a cut. Now, I did see some news today, I think it was in Bitunix actually, that did say that Trump was pressuring Jerome Powell to cut the rates now. So, this could wildly change here, and we still have 32 days, guys. So, that's a long time. 32 days is, 4.5 weeks. So, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of time for this to reverse, or, we'll see. Maybe we get a hike. But that would be, I think, a shock for everybody. I don't think we're going to get a hike, but things can change very rapidly. Now, taking a look at the crypto bubbles, guys, you know, we do have a lot of small greens, you know, 8%, 5%, 3%, things like this, guys. Nothing is majorly down, though, despite the markets. But, you know, when we look at the week or the month, guys, you know, or the year, it's still pretty bad. So, anyways, it's nice to see some green, but it could be better, of course. Now, if you want to stake your coins, guys, like Bitcoin, go to Coinondo. And yeah, you can look at all the deals here. You see the number of days you have to lock stuff up. You see your limits and things. Be careful. Read everything, guys. You don't want to get locked up in a position that you can't get out of when you're ready to sell. So anyways, guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell, share this with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one.